So today we're catching up with the extremely talented Craig Miller, who is fast climbing the career ladder in acting and stunt performing. So Craig, thanks for being here today. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Enjoying a very rare day off. It's all good.
So Craig, can you tell us about a typical day for you at work?
Yep, well it depends on the project, but for most of them, it's always early starts, late finishes. So, for instance, the last 12 weeks we've been up at 5 in the morning, hour and a half drive to the studio, then it's straight through costume, through makeup department. We always try and squeeze in coffee and stretching time because we're getting a bit older, most of us, you know, so we need to loosen up. We're not all made of rubber and magic these days, as some of them do. Anyway, and then once production starts, because we're part of the core team, there's not a lot of sitting about. A lot of people find when they're on movie sets, there's tons of sitting about. For us guys, we are performing with the actors, but also doing the background stuff as well. So we'll be setting up wires, setting up rigs, explosives, whatever's required. So it's always full on for us. Always go overtime, because they'll set out a shot list, you never stick to it, things go wrong all the time, because it's just the nature of the game. And then on costume, on makeup, hour and a half drive back home. If you're lucky, you get 4 or 5 hours sleep, and then you do it all over again. 7 days a week. Love it.
So Craig, can you tell us what sort of projects you're working on at the moment?
Well, yes and no. I can't obviously tell you the details of them, but I'm going between 2 projects, one in London, one in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, I'm working for Rockstar Games, doing motion capture, fights and stunts. That's about the extent of what I can say on that. In London, it's a big Warner Brothers, DC production, and that's as much as I can say about that as well. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Everything's codenamed, top secret and all that.
What has been your favourite project to work on so far?
Yeah, well, there's been a few, but probably I would say Kingsman. I was part of the core team on that one, so I was down during the whole design and choreography phase, shoot the previs, and then of course go live on it. And on that one, I got to work with a few of my idols in the stunt industry, people who are just the top of the, as big as it gets, for me anyway, as a stunt performer. Of course, working alongside Oscar winners and all that nonsense, it's great fun. Training and working with them every day. But for me, it was more about the stunt guys, because the level that these guys are at is beyond belief. I've got to learn so much from them. And that was almost 15 weeks shoot non-stop with these guys. The action is incredible. I don't know if you've seen it, but the action's good.
It's
not just for
fantastic.
the minute, just saying. It's some good action. Learned a lot, and the performers, the acting skills and techniques, because for stunts, there's still a lot to learn for me, but on the acting side of things, it was just incredible sitting right behind Colin Firth, watching him do his thing every day. Wow, awesome experience.
Has anything ever went wrong on set that you didn't have planned?
Yep, all the time, every single day. Of course, safety is the first issue, so we try and minimise injuries as much as we possibly can. But simple things. I shot a movie with Sacha Baron Cohen last year, and we were shooting out in a big field. In the costume department, it was all marquees and tents, and during the night someone broke in, stole all the suits, stole all the costumes and stuff. So the next day we turn up at work and there's no costume we can't produce that day, so we got paid for nothing, which is always a bonus. On Kingsman, we were shooting during the middle of winter in an old abandoned church down in London, but it was meant to be summertime in deep southern America. So we had these high beam lights coming through and set the church on fire, which obviously you don't get to see in the movie. So that was a few days off where they had to rebuild the church. Fire safety on set every day. But there's always injuries. On this current project I'm on, we've lost 5 stunt performers already with injuries. Broken back, slipped disc, broken toes, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, every day it's fun and games.
And what first interested you and inspired you to become a stuntman?
Oddly enough, it's not something I ever really wanted to do. I was just a martial artist. I did it my whole life. I went to Hong Kong for a 6-month training tour, just working out, and came across some really interesting people doing some interesting stuff. found myself in a stunt school in Hong Kong, and then just decided to stay for a few years and do the qualification with those guys. One thing led to another, I signed with them, and now I'm working on Hollywood, Bollywood, Hong Kong movies all over the world, wherever the work takes me. So I just kind of fell into it by accident, as it were. But now, martial arts is my passion, and it's what I do every day, whether I'm working or whether I'm not, and being able to use my passion to be creative and inspire other people, it just means the world to me. So that's it.
And if you could have any advice for someone thinking about following a similar career path to yourself, what would that be?
It's a very tough industry. It's very competitive, but you have to be open to take the opportunities. I'm not saying you have to travel the world and go to Hong Kong like I did, but there's certainly bigger and better stuff out there if you get out your comfort zone and don't be afraid to commit to yourself. I remember finishing a movie in Hong Kong and I had $50 to my name, which is about $250. I had rent to pay and all kinds of stuff, and I just knew that if I kept going, if I stayed true to myself, then I could make it work. And now I'm working all over the world on these huge projects, and it's been more than worth all the hard work and effort, you know. But it's tough, it's very tough. Just keep training, always improving your skills, being open to learn and absorb, and don't have a big ego, because some people come in and they're maybe been doing independent projects, and then they'll come on to one of the bigger ones and feel a little intimidated and stuff, which it can be. But just be open and ask people, take advice from people, send out letters. That's how I got involved in the UK. I was working in Hong Kong, and someone gave me a piece of advice. Oh, do you know this action coordinator from UK? He trained in Hong Kong also, but 10 years ago. Gave me his details, I reached out to him, and just the timing happened to be, I emailed him in December and he was shooting a movie in January and he needed some stunt performers, and the next thing you know, that all goes crazy. So you have to be open to put yourself in. People say, oh, you're so lucky and stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, it cost me thousands and thousands of pounds, hard work, training, injuries, 5 AM starts, whether I'm working or whether I'm not, because I have to train and hone my skills every day. It's tough, but just keep going, keep sticking to it and believe in yourself.
So Craig, is there any chance you could possibly show me a wee move or something that you do when you're on set, just while we're here?
But stunt performing, of course, let's do it, let's go.
Thank you.
Right, so just come in just a wee tiny bit.
Okay.
Right, so the big difference between real fights and movie fights is the size of everything that you do. So if we're in the ring and I'm throwing a hook punch for real, it's just nice and tight hip movement, tiny little hook punch, but on the movies you don't see it. So, and it's the same if you're using guns, if you're using knives and stuff. Military style, you shoot your gun here, but you can't see the actor's face that you're paying millions of pounds for, so you shoot your gun here, so you can...
Right, okay.
So when we're throwing punches, we need everything to be big, body mechanics, big and wide, right? So we're going to get you throwing a nice big hook punch and I'm going to take it on the chin.
Are you actually going to take the punch on the chin?
Yeah, so big right hand, wind it up as big and fast as you can,
okay.
Straight through, right? Here
Alright.
goes, yeah.
And just as big as possible?
Just as big as you can.
Alright,
go.
okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god.
Just like that, just like that. Oh.
Can I do it again? I feel like I didn't perfect that the first time. Okay, so...
You want to go again?
Yeah, you ready?
Right, go.
Eric's going to punch in the face.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So thanks so much, Craig, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today, and we thoroughly look forward to seeing you coming up soon on the big screen.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks very much. And I really hope that all you guys smash your stuff, and I hope I can inspire you and all be big directors and all that one day as well.
Thank you so much.